All right, before we get this show on the road, if this is your first time, which it probably is since this is the first episode, just want to say thank you for clicking. This is the podcast While You Were Drinking with Curtis Inman and Shae Lee. Also, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Rate and review whatever, podcast platform you happen to be listening to this on. We would really appreciate that. Also, follow us on IG. She is Shae, SHAE_LI, Shae Lee on Instagram. And I am Curtis.Inman. Pretty self-explanatory. Other than that, if you like what you hear, tell your friends, share it, put it on your Instagram, tell all your friends, tell your mom, tell your sister. Don't tell your brother. Other than that, let's get this show started. Welcome to the first ever While You Were Drinking podcast.
And the last. Just kidding.
2 months in the making. It only took us 3 months now.
I was going to say 2 months. I feel like it's been a little longer than that.
Ordering shit.
Yeah.
Prepping shit. Planning shit. Mm-hmm. Making sweet intros like the one you just watched.
Mm-hmm. And then by all of that, he means that he's been prepping shit, making shit.
True. Also
I've
true.
just been helping with the finances as well.
Sitting back comfortably. And
I'm the wingman here.
Spreading your cash. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too because I feel like this opens up a lot of new channels and opportunities for just content creation, which is one of my passions. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes like social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're not necessarily places for people to go and like share long and in-depth content. I think that like YouTube, podcasting, that's the kind of stuff where like if I'm going for that kind of content, I want to watch
the long form
video. Yeah, I want to watch a long form. I don't want to sit and watch somebody like 12, 20 panels of Instagram stories.
Because it's just not a good medium for that.
I'm probably on the toilet while I'm watching that anyway.
But speaking of channels, you should go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
While You Were Drinking podcast on YouTube. And hopefully you're watching it as well.
Yeah.
It's always much more fun to watch podcasts. I think. I personally consume most of my podcasts on YouTube and other video format. I started listening to podcasts with like Serial, the Serial?
Serial. The podcast.
Oh, the podcast.
Yeah, the
okay,
podcast
I was thinking
Serial.
platform still.
Yeah,
Like every day I would eat breakfast
and I would listen to a podcast about cereal. No, that one I think kind of worked for listening only because it told a story. But when you're listening to like a commentator or news podcast or comedians, I think it's more interesting to see the people and see how they interact with each other. And I don't know.
Right.
I agree.
This
is why we date. We agree on stuff.
I concur. Do you concur?
I should have concurred.
Yeah. 90s movies. Much like the theme of this show. So do you want to do a little intro? I guess would be appropriate in the first episode to let us do a little bit of a who we are, what we like, what we do.
In case you didn't come to this podcast from already knowing us in one of our social channels. So again, I'm Shae. I think a lot of people end up calling me Shae Lee, but Shae. It's fine. We're casual and comfortable here. I'm a digital creator. I have a marketing background. I went to school for public relations. I'm also a stylist. I worked in fashion retail now for the last close to a decade. I had like a spurt of working in tech retail too, but mostly fashion. I'm a non-Hodgkin's cancer survivor. I'm 2 years in remission as of December last year, so 2020. Yeah, and what else? I like wine. This kind of past year, I went from liking wine and just kind of drinking whatever was put in front of me to actually trying to learn about it. So I still don't know what I'm talking about, but I know a little bit more about what I'm talking about, and I will hopefully get there. I think I said I wanted to be like a wine snob, like to the point where people were like, you need to shut up. I don't care about the tannins. Yeah. I just want that level of knowledge. What else? I enjoy cooking. It's like really relaxing for me. I know some people come home and they're like, I don't want to, you're like this. You're like, I don't want to cook. I've already worked all day. None of that. For me, it's very therapeutic to come home and be like, I'm going to cook now. I'm going to decompress.
I think that's just like a hangover from so many years, like working in the restaurant industry.
Hang on. Whose intro is this?
Well, I don't know. It could be mine. Could be mine now.
Wait your turn.
Intros is mine's now.
Intros is mine's now. I also like reading. Curtis got me a Kindle. Well, Curtis and my brother and his girlfriend got me a Kindle for my birthday last year. I used to enjoy going out to eat and traveling, so I'm hoping to start enjoying
You don't know?
again. Well, 2020 took everything from me, so.
Oh, that's weird.
No, I still really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it.
He took everything.
All right, now you can intro.
Fine. I'm Curtis Inman, born and raised in Nashville. Spent 7 years in the Air Force, which is what brought me here to Maryland, actually, Baltimore.
Thank God.
Yeah. I'm a photographer, videographer, editor, kind of all around creative myself. Just, I like the arts and the outlet of creative work. I'm also a big whiskey enthusiast, which is, kind of the theme of the show, if you haven't picked up on that yet.
And you actually know what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, growing up in the South, being around, whiskey most of my life is commonplace for like bourbon and Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
To be like a part of the culture. Mm-hmm. So I kind of grew up around it and always had an affinity for it. No matter where I went in the world, no matter where I traveled, it was like I was always looking for a good whiskey. Even when I'm, in Korea drinking soju, I'm like, you know what, this would be better if it were whiskey. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll do more intro shit later. You'll get to know us, don't worry.
Damn, making me look weird. I'm talking like forever and having a long intro.
Yeah. I'm more to the point.
Well, I like to ramble.
Speaking of getting to the point, I say we start the show off right and pour a drink.
Yeah.
So you want to start us off? What are you drinking?
All right. I am drinking a wine that I've had before. It is SeaSalt Sauvignon Blanc. It's from a New Zealand winery in Marlborough. I think it's just SeaSalt Wines is their company. They also have a rosé, which I'd like to try, but I haven't found that yet. Yeah, the bottle's really pretty. It has definitely a very nautical theme. I mean, it's called SeaSalt. Twist top, which is always ideal for getting into it quickly. Also, I'm bad at corks, so
I can second that. That is true. Corks are not your strong suit.
No,
We've lost
not.
many a cork in a wine
nails.
bottle.
I have a hard time doing stuff with the nails. Anyway, and it has a slightly effervescent quality to it, which is actually what really appealed to me because I like bubbly wines like champagne, but then you can only really have like one or two glasses before it gets just overwhelming,
Too much in
and
your
then
stomach.
you have this crazy champagne hangover. So I liked this because it was kind of a blend between just a regular white wine and a sparkling.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm drinking. I'm excited to drink it again.
I'll pop it off.
What about you?
I'll start. I think I'm going to start with the Weller's Special Reserve, my most recent Christmas gift. Weller is obviously a now highly allocated bourbon that is from Buffalo Trace Distillery. This is their wheated mash bill, which is currently what they make all the Pappy Van Winkle out of, which you may have heard of.
I'd also like to add that I got that for him for Christmas.
That's what I said.
Oh.
My most recent Christmas gift.
I thought you said my most recent
gifting of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I wasn't paying attention.
You never listen to me.
God damn it.
All right. So let's see if our little sound effect works. You ready?
All right.
I guess I'll bump it and then we can do you want to cheers on this?
Yeah.
It sounded good.
It sounded good.
All right, let's do it. Cheers to that. And cheers to you.
Just as good as I remembered.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Oh, it's almost like in the light here.
Yeah.
Barely even a color.
It's you can't even see it in this lighting.
It's just water.
It's clear. your tricks. You know your tricks.
All right. Well, you wanted to start talking about Uggs.
That is true. When we first met, one of the most impressive things about you was your fashion sense. Always the peacock. Very bold, very unique style.
Yeah, I agree.
No problem rocking facial sparklies and wild dresses and extravagant gowns or coats. Which is why I think this next topic hurt my soul a little bit. For those that don't know, you recently moved in.
Yeah.
Just pre-pandemic, my little COVID buddy.
Yeah. Like mid-pandy.
Yeah.
Like March, April.
And so, as we were moving you in, we're going through kind of all your clothes and paring them down.
A daunting task.
And I keep noticing these weird puffy shoes that honestly disgust me a little bit.
Would you say they make your dick soft?
They do. And I'm trying to stay hard out here. 100%. Yeah, so it was this great tragedy learning that you owned not just one, but multiple pairs of Uggs.
Two pairs.
And wore that's too many. Wore them consistently throughout the winter and around the house. And so it's spawned this kind of what we've called the Great Ugg Debate.
Yes.
And whether or not Uggs are still an acceptable form of footwear in 2020.
I would like to defend the Uggs. And I will say that they're not the most fashionable shoe. Just because I know how to dress well and look good doesn't mean that I cannot appreciate something that is functional and practical as well. And that is why I like Uggs, because they're warm. They are great insulators. I only have to wear one pair of socks in my shoes when I wear them versus the two that you tend to do in the winter, which I think is insane. Because then you have one pair of socks and it's like rubbing around the other and one's bunching and one's not.
I have poor circulation.
All right, well, then you should maybe get some Uggs. I like them because they are warm. I take good care of mine, so they're not like salt stained and kind of ratty looking like a lot of, when you think of Uggs, you think of that, kind of 2000s Jersey girl.
Exactly.
With the
that's exactly
black
what I picture.
leggings and the North
hoop
Face.
Earrings
Yeah.
and like
that I don't even own a North Face.
But do you remember like the metallic trend?
Earrings.
The metallic trend, like where it would be like an all metallic colored purse or hat.
Yeah.
And
I have a metallic colored
that's
baseball
just
hat.
That's what I envision. Or like a bedazzled hat.
Juicy on the butt.
Like jersey, yeah, like pink sweatpants.
All right, well, you need to unlearn that and be able to see Uggs.
Or you need to unwear them.
Well, I'm not going to unwear them. They're warm. They keep my feet warm.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying, but let's just agree to disagree.
All right, maybe you guys can settle the debate for us.
Yeah, that's what we should do. We should put like a poll on Instagram or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Does it make your dick soft or does it keep your feet warm? Uggs.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
If it's this house, yes.
Yeah, right. So should we talk about how we met? I mean, we talked about Instagram, right?
That's true.
Do you want to tell the story about how you slid into my DMs?
I did slide into your DMs.
Or should we, let's just save it. Let's save it for another day.
Well, we can't tease it like this now.
Well, why not? That's half the fun.
Got to keep them coming back. All right, you have to come back for episode 2 to figure out how we met.
We can talk about anniversaries. We kind of have one
true.
quasi anniversary coming up, right?
Yeah, anniversary of our first date is at the end of this month.
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure of the exact date. I know it was like the last Sunday in January 2019.
Yes.
Yes, because we started talking in the very end of 2018, and then we went, and then
Like
you
just
asked
post
me,
chemo.
yeah, you asked me out, and then I had to work, and so then I said, "How about we go out? How about we go out that Sunday?" And we went out.
Yeah. So, like, what are your thoughts on anniversaries and things like that couples tend to make a big deal about?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like when I was younger, I mean, I remember being in high school. Well, sometimes your relationship didn't last that long. So it was a big deal to be like, we've been together for a month.
Yeah.
Now that I'm an adult, I think a yearly anniversary is appropriate. It doesn't have to be this like wild gesture every year. I think, 5 years, 10 years, things like that. Or, once there's wedding anniversaries involved, I think they're important to celebrate. I think it keeps the magic of the relationship alive. And I think it still shows that you're still invested and interested in wanting to do something special for the person you're with. You haven't gotten just like complacent in the relationship.
Yeah, it's like a good ritual. Like it lets you kind of like have like a marker in your head almost.
But I don't think it needs to be like, oh, we take a trip to Bora Bora to celebrate the fact that we've been together for 3 years.
Celebrate our first kiss.
Yeah, like
for the 19th year in a row.
What are we, 12?
So more like prioritizing larger events as you kind of progress in your relationship.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know, like anniversaries and like celebrations just never were a big thing growing up. So like I never like had that. I never learned to like put stock into like big celebrations. Like birthdays were kind of just like oh, it's your birthday.
But you guys went hard for Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. But that's not really like that's like a global thing. You know what I mean? Everybody does.
Oh, all right.
So we're just like fitting into the culture at that point. But like anniversaries, I don't know. It was never anything that anyone I knew made like a huge deal about.
Yeah.
So like I never wondered what people's like big to do was for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think my family struck a kind of a nice, modest balance in between. Because I know I had friends who made huge deals out of birthdays and celebrations, and it was always just extravagant. But
taking big road trips.
Yeah, in my family, my parents always lived within their means. We lived a modest lifestyle. Like I never lacked anything, but there was definitely things that I wanted that I didn't get or my parents couldn't afford. And they made big deals out of, and by big deal, I mean, it wasn't, I guess, what some people would call a big deal, but they always made sure to mention it and celebrate it. Like we'd go out to dinner for the birthday. It'd be the four of us. There'd be a gift, but usually just one.
Like hibachi. Did you go to hibachi?
I don't know if we ever went to hibachi. I remember going to Friendlies as a kid.
What is Friendly? I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Friendlies is? I guess it's kind of like a Shoney's, but there was no buffet.
It's like a discount Shoney's.
No, it wasn't a discount. Actually, you know what? State Fair down the road.
Okay.
Used to be a Friendlies, and I went to that Friendlies. And you would get the birthday. It was a scoop of ice cream with like hot fudge, and they had M&Ms for eyes and a cone hat. That was like the ice cream treat. They also had an
ice cream treat.
Yeah, they also had an ice cream that was shaped like a watermelon. It was really cool, actually. It had the rind, and it was just different colored ice creams, and it looked like a watermelon. It had seeds and everything. It was chocolate chips. Like it was cool.
They were like the little like sugar seeds, or were they like?
No, I think it was chocolate chips. And it was kind of came in a loaf, and you would cut it, and you'd have slices.
Weird combo.
I know, but it was. I mean, it didn't taste like watermelon. It just looked like a watermelon. But yeah, we did that, and we would. My parents always celebrated their anniversary. They would, when we were younger, they would celebrate it with us.
Yeah.
Just the two of them would kind of be like, it's our anniversary, and Kylie and I would make some. Kylie's my brother. I have not introduced him. Kylie, my brother. We would draw some kind of card, or we'd give them like a coupon for something. You're a kid.
Yeah.
And then as they got older, they would start taking small trips. They'd go find a bed and breakfast and stay overnight for a weekend, or they'd go drive
like
somewhere.
a trip like we did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a road trip, like a weekend away kind of thing.
Yeah, just small, nothing crazy.
That was fun. I guess that's kind of one of the more exciting things about like having been in a relationship this long is like you kind of start to look forward to those things again, or like you learn to look forward to them, right? So it's like you and your sigoth, as the kids are saying these days.
Oh my God.
I was like, in my group chat, somebody said sigoth like a month ago. And I was like, is that some kind of weird, like alternate goth? Is that like a modern version of like goth kids?
I don't, your friends are just, a hair older than me. You guys are like 3-4 years older. But for some reason, all y'all are way more in tune with what the kids are talking about today than my group of girlfriends who I'm like on the older side of my group. We have a couple girls in the group who are 2-3 years younger than me. And all of us are just basically boomers at this point. Yeah.
Well, I have my career and my 2 kids, and this is where I'll die.
My circle of friends, and we send each other Lord of the Rings memes, and that's about it.
Yes. This is our life now. No, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, the Sigoth, and you're looking forward to...
Sigoth. Yeah, I don't know, just, traveling around again. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of travel, though, you might be the worst navigator on planet Earth.
I don't think about on planet Earth, but I'm definitely up there.
Like if Rand McNally had a grandchild that they just like left in the woods who never found its way back.
Well, I'd be dead for one.
And then that kid spawned.
Oh no, there's another layer.
With like the worst person imaginable.
So what you're saying is I'm an Asian woman. How dare you?
Your words, first thing. So we were
last weekend.
We're kind of looking for a new house, kind of driving out in the country.
Spilling the beans.
And just it bounces between like, all right, can you, since we're not like going to a specific location, I'm like, okay, just take us kind of north and then let's go parallel with, fill in the blank highway. Let's just to see what the country looks like out here. And we end up going the complete opposite direction, like back towards Baltimore.
Because I had the map flipped around.
And she literally, she keeps showing me the screen. I'm like, why is Highway 70 going north and south? What are you looking at?
Going in the complete opposite direction that you wanted to go.
Yeah. But also, like, you use GPS unlike anyone I've ever seen. Everybody just puts in the address, pulls up the map, and lets it guide you. You'll pull up the GPS and then just pull up the directions like it's MapQuest circa 2004. And you don't use the map. You use like the texted words as like your guide. I've never seen anyone do that.
I guess for me, I'm like the navigation uses so much data and like battery
it's
draining.
Still using that same data, whether or not you have the
If I'm not doing
not.
It definitely drains faster.
Oh, it's still on the same thing. It doesn't. But so, point being, when you do that and you're like navigating me, we miss turns all the time.
I know. I need to just start.
Because she'll like pull it up and then just get distracted and be like, just using your phone like normal and be like, oh, we were supposed to turn left 3 miles ago.
Yeah, oh, my bad. Hang on, maybe you just make a U-E around here and...
We'll see what happens.
All right, I'll start using the actual navigation when I'm in the car with you. I guess for me, because I grew up in this area and most of the places I go to, I kind of know how to get there.
Right.
I can just
like
go,
you just need like a street name
I need the general idea and then I can figure it out based on landmarks. But when we go somewhere where there's no real destination or we're just kind of meandering, that's where my inability to navigate really truly shines.
Mm-hmm. Shine is a good
I think
word
at
for
one point on the drive, you just went, I already have it pulled up.
Yeah. Yes, that is correct. So like while she was like trying to figure out how to get us where to go, I like just pulled up my phone while I'm driving. I don't advise this, and this is highly illegal. So technically I didn't do this.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I did it on his phone, and then I just put it back.
Yes, that's what happened.
That's the story.
All right, time
Sticking
for a new
to
drink.
it. I feel like I need an ice cube.
Yeah?
Which
Is it
basically
not
turns me
cold?
into a rich housewife at this point. Well, it's been sitting for a little while we got set up. We need a champagne bucket that I can chill in.
So we went to watch a movie last night, and I noticed the Bravo app has mysteriously appeared on our Apple TV.
Speaking of housewives,
I can't for the life of me. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do our pop.
wait,
Which
I
one
want
is
an
it?
ice cube.
Okay. Pop.
Let me go get an ice cube.
Yeah, I'll talk about my what I just switched
Drink
to.
your whiskey.
So I switched to the Weller 12 year. It's the same line as the Special Reserve, just a 12-year version. It's a lot of bit harder to find, and it's worth it. All right.
Now I have my ice cube and my white wine, and I'm living my
Living your best
rich
life.
housewife fantasy.
Of Pawtucket, what's it?
Potomac.
Potomac.
So I need to preface that I have not actually ever watched an episode of Real Housewives of anything.
True.
I'm not a Bravo person. I don't like The Bachelor. I don't like The Bachelorette. I like watching people commentate on The Bachelorette and The Bachelor. There's like a comedian on Instagram, Jared, who I find funny. And then my friend Alexis does Black Girl in the Bachelor.
Texas.
No, Alexis Wilkins. She does Black Girl in the Bachelor, and that's where I get my Bachelor news info from. Shout out Alexis.
She's probably watching it right now.
Oh, definitely. Wait, no, it's Monday night, I think.
Mm-hmm. What's today? Is it Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
You're right. It is Tuesday. I am stupid.
But I'm not a Bravo person. I did really enjoy Millionaire Matchmaker when that show was on TV.
Matchmaker, make me a match.
Mostly just because I liked the main, I don't remember her name right now, but
Yeah.
the personality of the matchmaker. I liked her personality. But everyone's telling me that the Real Housewives of Potomac is just there's drama and it's...
Isn't that the point?
I mean, yeah. But extra drama. And because it's Potomac, it's, we drive by Potomac. I have friends who live near there.
Right. It's kind of, it's local-ish.
Recognize. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I downloaded it. Maybe I'll watch an episode or two. I might think it's trash and be done with it. And you might see that Bravo app delete, but I don't know
Deleted. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been, I've been trying to culture Shae with classic 90s movies. Apparently most of her 90s were just lived under a rock and she hasn't seen classic 90s movies.
Yeah, I know. Well, Linda, she took a conservative approach to parenting in childhood. And my brother and I spent a lot of time outside instead of in front of the TV. I mean, even if we would have been allowed to watch some of the stuff that was out when we were kids, we probably, we were just, it was go up, play outside, go read a book, go,
Yeah.
It was very much
You've been reading a lot lately.
Yeah,
getting back into it.
I used to read books.
Tearing through those Harry Potters.
Crazy. Yeah, I have been tearing through the Harry Potters. I'm almost done. So the Kindle he gave me is linked to the joint Amazon account.
Yeah.
But it used to be his, and he'll get a notification every time I finish a book. So he'll be like, "Oh, I see you finished Half-Blood Prince today."
Where are you going next?
Yeah, just put on blast, Amazon.
Yeah, right.
But no, I used to read books. I mean, I always had a nose in a book when I was growing up. And then, I would probably, I never really counted, but I would imagine during a summer, a middle school summer, I probably blew through about 10 or 12 books.
In a summer?
In the summer. I read insanely fast. And by read, I mean I skim and
mostly
glean
skimming.
general information. I'm going back and I'm reading Harry Potter again as an
I
adult.
don't remember this happening.
I know. I'm like, wait, hang on. Like, this is a scene? Like, I don't. This
When did
didn't stick
Hermione
at
get her
all.
period?
Yeah. But, I don't know. I was blessed that I was able to kind of skim the hashtag blessed. That I could skim a book and pick up most of the information.
Oh, did you ever see those? It was like an infomercial in the 90s, I want to say.
Probably didn't see it.
Of the speed reader.
Didn't watch TV.
Like it was like this whole course you could buy of this guy who was like the speed reader.
No.
And he would sit and like, he had this whole thing where he would go. He would kind of just glaze over and stare at the paper and then go like this with his hand.
And that was supposed to teach you how to speed read?
Well, and then there was like this whole course to it. There was a technique, right?
Oh.
It was like you read like the second word in the first line and then the last word. And then you read the second sentence in reverse order. And then there would be like this pattern of like reading specific words and you could like, your brain could like piece together what it meant. And so he was like reading these books in like, an hour, like 700-page book in like an hour.
See that's still excessive. I would still take me probably about.
So you're not that fast.
I'm not that fast. Why am I even dating you then? No.
Well, you tried. Yeah, so we just watched The Truman Show.
The Truman Show.
Yes.
See, I'm not a Jim Carrey fan.
That's it. Turn this off.
You're like, get out of my house now. I'm just not.
In Jesus' name I pray.
Something about him bothers me. I get that he's a talented actor and all, but.
So like what version of Jim Carrey have you seen? Because I don't know. I don't know.
The Grinch.
That's true. That's an unbelievable role.
I'm saying he's really good at that, but I feel like that the Grinch is a very specific, like it works for the Grinch because he's supposed to be this kind of kooky, off the wall. And that's the thing, Jim Carrey plays to his strengths. He is in a lot of roles where, this kooky kind of outlandish outburst character works. But that's just not my kind of character.
Right.
Like, I don't even know if I could be friends with somebody like that in real life, so I don't know if I want to watch it. Like, it just annoys me.
No.
Me? Reserved? Standoffish? Me?
Yeah.
Why do you like Jim Carrey movies?
I think he's just hilarious. He's just like a legend of comedy.
Yeah.
He's like unique. He like has this weird, he teeters this weird line of like being able to do serious and like highly like almost like slapstick comedy. Like he's very physical. He moves all over the place. He can do crazy things with his face. I don't know. He's just incredibly funny. And I grew up with him, watching like Ace Ventura and, classic like 90s comedy movies.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if I'd
He's like a mainstay in my
grown up
childhood.
with him and I would have had that kind of nostalgic attachment. There's definitely things I watch now that I go, yeah, I wouldn't have been into this had I started watching it now. Like you have to have the nostalgia in order to feel an affection
I think like
for
my
it.
first like big, like almost choking and died laugh was watching Ace Ventura.
Yeah,
There's a scene, I don't know if you've seen it.
I have not. You guessed correctly. Again, I don't
noticing a
like Jim
pattern.
Carrey.
I'm noticing a pattern. Blink twice if you're in distress.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who are distressed out there, but I'm also sure there are a lot of people out there who agree with me that you don't like Jim Carrey and you don't like his movies.
Yeah. But so there's this scene in Ace Ventura where, because he's like a detective is kind of the premise, and they're in this like dark room and they're projecting on the wall and they're like telling him these are the people that we think did it. And he like shadow puppets. They're in this like super serious like, police meeting basically, and he's like shadow puppeting on like the wall. And I was just a kid at the time, and for whatever reason, that was like the hardest I'd ever laughed as a child, and I like legitimately couldn't breathe and thought I was gonna die. So maybe that's why I like Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
It's
I can see that.
it's like a watershed moment.
Yeah. No, I never got into the slapstick humor, and the stoner humor also was not for me.
Yeah, like a Half-Baked or...
Yeah, just I'm not into it.
What was the Matthew McConaughey one?
I probably didn't watch it because I don't
Yeah.
like stoner comedy.
It's like, be a whole lot cooler if you did. I can't remember the movie. He's like a 20-something-year-old who like stalks high school girls, which in hindsight, a little creepy.
I was going to say, there's actually a lot
Pretty
of Hollywood
commonplace.
movies that do that. We watched Waiting the other day, and what is it? Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Goes after that girl. I mean, granted, at the end, he's like, we're going to wait until you turn 18. But I'm like, it's a week difference. She's still way too young for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
but yeah, like the quote in it is, you know what I love about high school girls? It's like, I keep getting older and they stay the same age.
like, what
It's so creepy.
skeezy, sleazy line.
Oh my gosh, what movie is that? Now I can't think of the title. Yeah, another one of those like 90s kind of cult classic movies. Yeah.
Was it made by Harvey Weinstein or?
God, that's hilarious. I was just watching Ricky Gervais because he's hosted the Golden Globes a few times.
Yeah.
And like,
isn't it like few times? I thought it was like 5 times.
Yeah, like I think 5 times. But like
lot.
the most recent one obviously was kind of like his
last one.
His what do they call their masterpiece? I think it's like a Latin word.
Piece de resistance.
The piece de resistance.
His masterpiece.
His masterpiece. Yeah. But so watching that, it made me like want to go back and watch his like past opening monologues. And like just a couple years ago, like Harvey was like the one they kept turning the camera to as he was like making jokes. And like, cause you know, like he was like the power play. He was like the guy in Hollywood.
That's why it was such a big deal. I mean, he started so many careers, but then also, fucked up so many lives.
Right. He did some bad things too. And also some other things.
I think, weren't you watching Ricky Gervais's stand-up in bed the other night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't hear it. You had the earpods in.
Yeah. So fun fact, if you have an Apple TV and earpods, we got to put that thing on a tripod. I can see it wiggling like anytime we touch the table. It just wiggles. Wiggle.
All right, first episode's going to be a little shaky.
I see what you did there.
Where's the drop?
But wait.
Oh,
I don't remember
which one. It's probably going to be something weird. All right, guys, you might get something weird.
I'm just going to do them all. It's got to be one of these. You're welcome.
Okay. It's probably not one.
But yeah, so if you have earpods and an Apple TV, you can actually pair your earpods to the Apple TV. So like if you're in bed with your cigoth and they want to go to sleep, you can just pair it straight to the Apple TV and watch what's on your TV through your earpods.
Yeah, very nice because...
Pro tip.
I was one of those people who cannot fall asleep. You're still doing it. Okay. I'm one of those people who cannot fall asleep with sound on. There must be almost absolute silence or some kind of loud white noise. So he's still going. In order to fall asleep.
I tried to keep it going. I couldn't keep it going.
Like, I know some people are, I feel like you're one of these people where you like falling asleep to sound. To noise.
Like I usually like, I need like not necessarily white noise. I just need like commotion. I need something happening while I fall asleep.
Yeah, and to them, I'm the exact opposite. I can do a white noise where it's or a constant. If the sound level is constant, I can do it. But when we watch a movie or when you listen to music, there's spikes. There's peaks and valleys, and that's to me what I'll be so close to falling asleep, and then it'll get loud, and I'm awake again.
Yeah.
I just can't. It has to be steady or nothing. So. This is real nice. I wish
that's what I like about it.
Yeah, it's
nice. Like getting woken up right while you're like groggy and you're like,
what? Jesus, you like that?
Yeah. Well, it's like the closest thing I can get to like feeling high.
That's true. Well, that's not the case with me. I have my medical card and I get stoned almost every night. That's how I sleep. I don't really.
But she doesn't like stoner comedy.
I don't like stoner comedy. And also, I guess, because I'm getting stoned and I'm falling asleep immediately. So it's not like I'm enjoying the high. The THC just keeps me asleep throughout the night.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sorry, boo. Cat groomers, they can't smoke weed when you're a cat groomer as a profession.
True. As a professional cat groomer, I can tell you, you can't smoke weed. The cats don't like it.
Speaking of cats. So I had a sweet bean. Oh, am I going to cry on the first episode? My sweet Cairo.
Cheers
2020 took her.
Yes, sweet little Cairo.
My sweet calico bean. I got her when I was 20. She was 2 and she was legit from Cairo, Egypt. I have the paperwork somewhere. But she was special and I loved her, and
the fattest cat on earth.
Fattest cat on earth. She got me through a lot of tough times. She was my companion all through college, multiple roommates, multiple homes. She was a good bean, and something, I don't know. She maybe had a stroke or a heart attack. We're not really sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Isn't that what the vet said? She had like some kind of stroke or
They think
something.
it was like a stroke.
She kind of just went veggie.
Yeah, she went veggie real fast, and I think it was quick. And I mean, unfortunately, we weren't home at the time, which made it even harder.
Which, shout out to your parents. That was
God, Linda Lee, man, really did us a solid there. Like we went to, we're just gonna bring it down a notch. We went the one vacation we took in 2020, and my cat dies. Is that the want button?
I tried. I don't know if I pushed it. It
Who
could
knows?
could be like.
We're still learning, guys. We're still learning. But the one vacation we take, my aunt and uncle own a condo down in Panama City Beach. It was pre-Florida popping off with the COVID. We were like, we'll go down, we'll drive, we'll be careful, we'll keep to ourselves. And we stopped over in Charleston, and we're at dinner, and I get a call from my mom, and she's like, Cairo doesn't look so good. She's foaming at the mouth. And she didn't make it like much longer, and I had to make the decision to put her down. But
yeah, like a day into our week-long vacation.
Yeah.
Bummer.
I know. Oof. Bean, you really picked some timing, huh?
It's almost
like she was spiteful.
It's selfish, honestly. Like, we're trying to have a vacation, trying to go to the beach, get some rays, and you're just gonna like die. Like, selfish.
And also, I always did say she was a mean bean because she was so aggressive towards other animals.
Yeah, other animal.
Aggressive. Loved people, but aggressive towards other animals.
She peed all over me once.
That's true. She did pee all over Curtis. Her crowning achievement.
Her piece de resistance.
Anyway, the dogs have been filling the void of the lost. Quite a lot.
Not your entire void. You keep bringing up.
I know.
Acquiring.
Well, because like I think that they've kind of gotten to the point now where they feel very affectionate towards me, and kind of see me as a household figure and somebody who's around and loves them and feeds them, takes care of them. But they're still like your dogs.
True.
And I don't know. I'm definitely a cat person, so I miss having a cat. But I'm also so allergic.
Yeah, the rub.
Like so allergic. Notice a huge difference once Cairo died and she wasn't here.
Yeah.
How much better my allergies are.
Yeah, like you don't wake up just
dying
every morning.
I'm like, was it asthma all along or was it cats?
It was cat. Every morning, like when she first moved in, I would like wake up to and like just like a pile of like 19 tissues next to the bed.
Me
Like
struggling
you're gonna
to
pick those up, right?
yeah, me struggling to breathe, going to sleep. It was definitely the cat.
That doesn't happen anymore.
I know. It's been really nice. I miss the beans.
But we missed the bean.
Yeah,
So should we get another bean?
maybe. What kind of beans are hypoallergenic? That's what I need. That aren't sphinxes. I do like them. I know you don't. I know they are kind of ugly,
Rat,
but they feel cool.
raisin cats.
I don't know, I'm kind of into them weirdly.
Yeah, you have to bathe them though. They
I know.
can't
You
bathe
have to
themselves.
wash them like weekly, or they
I'll
start
do
to
that.
smell.
Actually, you know what? Let's get one of those, and I'll do that part.
You're gonna drown my cat. That wink says I'm gonna drown it, and I'm gonna report you to the animal police.
I'm not gonna drown your cat. I suddenly feel like you're gonna drown my cat.
On that note, guys, goodbye.
All right, should we wrap this inaugural episode up?
We're really gonna leave it on drowning cats. All right.
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
I mean, hey guys, we're gonna keep you on your toes, keep it interesting.
If you want to drown a cat, just call me.
Oh my God, you're the worst.